Good morning, everyone. My name is Eric Fugett. I'm a retired engineer and novice author. Last year, I released the second edition of my book entitled A Personal Revelation. As you may have guessed from the title, it is a book about the book of Revelation in the Bible. This is the first video that I have personally produced to discuss my book, and I promise you, it will be a short one. Now, you may be thinking, what makes this book any different from all the others on the book of Revelation? Well, first of all, I've approached Revelation from an Eastern rather than a Western, and especially our modern day Western point of view. Easterners tend to use a lot of symbols, like what we find in prophecies, and they like to tell stories or parables, like we find in the Gospels, to get their point across. The readers of their time would have understood their idioms and style of writing, much the way those of us today understand when someone says it's raining cats and dogs. We know it's not literally raining cats and dogs, but that it's raining very hard. Secondly, because I'm an engineer and not a theologian, I'm not trying to make the book of Revelation fit my point of view. I simply take the numbers and symbols found in the book of Revelation and use them the way anyone trained in problem solving would. I correlate them to how they're used throughout the rest of the Bible and how they were used in the first century when John wrote the book. Because I'm an engineer and not a fiction writer, I use the Bible, history, and logic to make practical sense of the book of Revelation. If you are seeking the truth about the book of Revelation, then I know you'll enjoy reading this book. One question that I'm often asked is, why did you write the book? I finished writing the first edition of the book back in 2003 after hearing a lecture by a professor in 2002 who claimed that Christianity was a myth. He said it was a myth because both Jesus and his apostles predicted that he would return in the lifetime of their hearers or within their generation. Well, I checked the Greek on Matthew 24:34, and genea, the word for generation, means essentially the time of the people being spoken to. I was totally shocked to find that what the professor said about the claims of when Jesus will return were true. Now I know how dramatically my life and the lives of many others have changed. So Christianity cannot be a myth. I also know from Titus 1:2 and Hebrews 6:18 that God cannot lie. And if the scriptures are truly inspired, then Jesus and the apostles cannot be wrong. That only left one possibility. We have a misunderstanding about the second coming of Jesus. And from there, I set out to discover the truth. Now, whether you have a passion for the Bible or a simple curiosity about the book of Revelation, A Personal Revelation Second Edition is the book for you. It is the first book that will answer many, if not all, of your questions about the numbers and symbols found in the book of Revelation and also in the book of Daniel. If you want to know the exact dates for Jesus and John the Baptist's birth, you'll find them in this book. And as a teaser, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that Jesus was born on the Day of Atonement, 5 BC. That day happened to fall on September the 11th that year. The answers to this and many other questions can be found by examining the numerology and typology in the Bible and by searching through historical documents like the writings of Josephus. Have you ever wondered when the book of Revelation was written? Finally, there's an exact date that will make biblical scholars wonder how they ever missed it. The date for every prophetic book in the Tanakh, or what we Christians call the Old Testament, can be found in the first chapter. The date for the book of Revelation can also be found in the first chapter. Would you like to know the significance and fulfillment of each of the Jewish feast days? Most of us are familiar with the fulfillment of the first four feasts: Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread, First Fruits, and Pentecost. But what about the last three feasts? The Feast of Trumpets, the Day of Atonement, and the Feast of Tabernacles. You'll find the answers in A Personal Revelation, second edition. Would you like to understand the scriptures about Daniel's 70 weeks, the second coming, the judgment, and the resurrection? Who wouldn't, right? Again, A Personal Revelation, second edition, has the answers. My book brings simplicity and logic to the book of Revelation. It is a must-read for anyone who wants to understand this mysterious book of the Bible. The link to my website, ericfugett.com, is below, and there you can purchase either a printed copy or an ebook copy of A Personal Revelation, second edition, and even the original first edition. If you find this YouTube video to be interesting, please click the like and share buttons. Also, click the subscribe button so that you'll be notified when new videos are released. Lastly, if you have a topic that you would like for me to cover, you can list them here in the chat. You may find some of the answers to those questions in articles on my website, in my book, or in videos that I will produce in the soon and near future, pun intended. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next